Hello everyone, Randy here again, and we're playing Farming Simulator 15 on Sosnovka. And we are working on replanting fields 23 and 25 here. Got the good old Kirovitz here cultivating. And myself, I'm going to start planting corn with our DB-40 planter. Now this is different than the one we have on the multiplayer server, by the way. That is a DB-90. Per the description, it says it's a 38 row. This one, I believe, was 24 row, if I counted it right. So slightly smaller, but still a very, very large planter, I would say. That in mind, we should probably do a headland over here first. Actually, I'm going to get lined up for that here in a minute. Turn this around. And this tractor apparently has a slight wandering problem, I noticed. From where I planted or parked the tractor there last episode, it kind of wandered off towards the road there a little bit. So, I'm assuming it's the tractor's fault anyway, not the planter's. I suppose it is possible it is the planter's fault, but I kind of doubt it. Okay, plant corn again. And we're going to do the headland here first. And so far I've had a couple people ask me where I got this tractor, the Cat Challenger here. Or just Challenger, I guess. Actually, I'm not sure. I say Cat Challenger. Is this actually Cat? As far as I know, Cat makes Challenger, but I'm not 100% sure on that now that I think of it. Let me just look at the garage here a minute. It is a Challenger. And I was looking through my mod list. Apparently I do not have a link to where I got it from, so I'm not entirely sure. Either the link I had is no longer working, or I never put the link in the first place. So, those of you wondering where I got it from, I actually do not know. Had this one for quite a while now. Anyway, get lined up here. Probably want to do a headland on the other end of the field as well. Well, it's something we don't use very often. Let's try the markers. See if they even work in the first place. That is good. One big, wide marker. Oh, I don't have a lower. That might be why. See if that makes a difference with the marker. Yeah, it does. Okay. I don't know, you folks on YouTube might not be able to see that. It's not leaving much of a mark, but it is leaving a mark. So kind of a switch up here for me, not using my favorite mod. For those of you that have been watching me for a while, you'll probably know which mod I'm talking about. Also, I don't know if you folks saw that or not. You can see that planter. Actually, you can see it right now a little bit. It is flexing with the ground. From what I remember in 2013, these planters were out then, but they did not flex with the ground very well. So if you had a very uneven field, they just did not work well. So far, at least in 15 here, both the DB-40 here and the DB-90 seem to work quite well. And kind of just paying attention here to the edge, make sure I'm getting a somewhat straight line. And yes, I am freehand driving this. I'm not using the GPS mod. So, I'm surprised I'm actually keeping it this straight. Okay, before we go any farther, let's do a headland here. starting to look like winter outside now where I live, by the way. It was kind of funny. I was listening to the weather forecast this morning, and the weather forecaster said, yeah, it's been a kind of a wimpy winter so far. And yeah, he's not kidding. We have not had a whole lot of snowstorms, much of anything really. We did have a couple of kind of like ice, freezing rain there, but that was about it. No major snowstorms, so. Anyway, see if I put a mark, I'm going to go back to the other side of the field. Otherwise, typically, I'd probably just go down to this side of the field, but seeing as how I marked it over here. Now, we should be able to just put the center of the tractor right down this here, and well, let's see where we end up. Make sure we put the right marker out here. Okay, and away we go. This here is something probably prefer doing it inside the cab because I can follow the line a lot better inside the cab, or at least I think I can anyway. I just find if I do it from the third person view outside the cab, it's hard to find the center line of the tractor and then, you know, line up down the center line of the tractor. A little bumpy there. I'm not sure if Giants actually intended that or if they maybe forgot to smooth that field out a little bit. And it occurs to me, you know, I've been going this far, you know, we are actually missing a little bit there, aren't we? I am over a little bit at the moment, I guess. Kind of hard to follow. Actually, you know what? We're off maybe a little bit in the cab here, but it looks pretty dead nuts on from the cab. But yeah, it doesn't help that line is zigzagging there. I don't know if the folks noticed that or not, but it is zigzagging there a little bit. Oh, this might be a problem. I don't see the line at all. Okay. That's kind of weird. Guess we'll freehand drive this one then as well. Otherwise, I can set up the GPS too, I guess. No, well, not really. I wonder if that's because this thing is like too high, because I don't know if you folks saw that a minute ago. It was kind of bouncing up there. Kind of hard to keep an eye on that and watch I'm driving at the same time here. But I just happened to catch that out of the corner of my eye there. I seen that ridge marker there bounce up. Yeah, so far there's not a... Oh, there's a little mark right there. A ridge mark. By the way, you do not have to cultivate prior to planting with this planter. This is a no-till planter. I just prefer to cultivate first, so that's what I have done. Okay, looks like we actually might have a little bit of a line here and there to follow on this one. Very little line anyway. Oh, and I just happened to see up on the glance mod there. The Kurovitz is blocked. Ah, tree over there. Okay. Yeah, there's one tree over here he's always getting caught on. I think it's just that one, it seems like. Okay, and rehire. And we'll go back to planting. Oh, yeah, you can see it's leaving a mark this time around. I'm sure you folks on YouTube definitely won't be able to see this line. I can see it, but just barely see it. And, by the time I render it up, it loses a little bit of quality. By the time, YouTube does their processing thing to it, it loses a little bit more quality. And then, by the time you guys watch it, depending on your internet capabilities, it'll probably lose a little more quality, so. I can just see it. It's kind of like a sprinkled plow mark. That's kind of what it's like. And at this point, it looks like we completely lost it. Kind of after the last little bump there. That's probably why I don't use the ridge markers very much. They're not very reliable, I guess you could say. At least not farming sim anyway. Real life maybe, but not farming sim. And wow, I just looked out the window. It is blowing and howling out there. Like we're getting a good old winter storm now. That live in western Michigan will probably be experiencing what I'm experiencing here. And yes, I know I'm not following down the center line here, but the line seems to be staggering a lot around a little bit, so. Supposed to get quite a bit of snow here next couple of days, so that'll be interesting to see what actually happens. Like I was saying earlier in the video, we have not had much in the way of snow yet. I don't know what the totals are, but it can't be more than maybe 6 inches to 12 inches of snow for the whole season. I would say is very, very unusual. But who knows, that could change yet. Could be a humdinger of a January. Although they're not predicting that. They are predicting a very mild winter. If that actually happens or not. I think they were saying the same thing like last year and the year before, too. It would be a fairly mild winter. And both of those winters turned out to be pretty good humdingers. Okay, looks like we can probably wrap this up with one last. Actually, you know what? We might as well put that ridge marker in. I'm guessing it'll probably just go right through the trees. I doubt the mod author's taking the time to actually, do a collision with it, but I guess you never know. You know what? Let's just put it out. Just see once, actually, if he did. I very much doubt it. Oh, look at that, folks. He did. Or she did. I'm not actually sure who the mod author is there, but wow, look at that. I am very surprised by that. I would not have thought the mod author would have taken the time to actually do that. Like the Kirovitz is plodding along there. Okay, and we'll see what we can beat for a few comments here. Paul was saying he says he has a direct TV, and the only trouble he has is when there's a bad storm coming through. And for those who don't know, DirecTV offers internet as well. Although I'm not sure if it's actually DirecTV internet, if it's offered through another company, but DirecTV does offer internet. And that would be a satellite provider, I do believe. And it is available in my area for those who are wondering. Yes, you can get DirecTV. No, Paul there was asking if it's available. Yes, it is. The only problem with satellite TV, or not necessarily the TV part, but the internet part, the satellite internet. I would do a headland, but I can only do like a partial one here because, yeah, the Kirovitz there is going to cultivate it under. Okay, I'm going to set up GPS here. 8 meters. I think the GPS here will be much more reliable than the ridge markers are. Yeah, the reason I don't use satellite internet, one, it is supposedly not very good for gaming. And I've never had it, so I can't attest to that fact. But supposedly it is not good for gaming. On top of that, most satellite internet providers, at least from what I have seen, and I have looked quite extensively, limit the monthly bandwidth. So let's say, 10 gigs, 50 gigs. I think the highest I've seen was 100 or 150. I think it was 100, I'd like to say. Maybe it was 150, but 150 gigabytes. But when you think about it, that sounds like a lot. In my case, though, that's probably only going to last a couple of days. Because when I upload a video, each half-hour video is roughly 2 to 3 gigabytes. Do the math, and let's keep the math here simple. Let's say it's let's just say it's 3 gigabytes. And there's 30 days in a month. What is 3 times 30? That's going to be 90 gigabytes. So if I have the max plan, and the max plan, forget what provider this was not cheap. I mean, satellite internet's fairly expensive. But farther here. And we'll go wreck the Kirovitz, who's stuck on another tree, kind of. Is he actually stuck? What is he over here? It's kind of like stuck with a tire up on a... Not sure why the other tires aren't spinning. That's kind of odd. I think we're going to pretty rapidly catch up with the Kirovitz here. Okay, and I'm probably going to have the same problem if I'm not careful here. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure I'm smarter than the hired worker. That's kind of like the show. What is it? Are you smarter than a fifth grader or something like that? Are we smarter than a hired worker? And I'm pretty sure I am. Not positive, but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, back to the satellite internet thing there again. Like I was saying, so we're pretty much up to 90 gigabytes there. Now factor on the fact that I usually upload some other videos as well. Let's figure maybe 20 more videos at 2 gigabytes each. That's another 40 gigabytes right there. We're now up to 130 gigabytes. That leaves me with, 20 gigabytes to play with, assuming I don't upload any bigger or more videos. So that's kind of the reason I've not gone with satellite internet. And plus, like I said before, what I mentioned, it's supposedly not good for gaming. So that's kind of the reason behind that. And as far as my internet goes, I think I mentioned this in my last video. As of right now, it's been days now, and it's been pretty good. So, you folks have probably noticed I've been able to upload a couple of videos. I think the last 2 or 3 videos I've uploaded via my internet. Like the previous 4 videos I had to upload via my phone, so... Yeah, I believe it was Sosnovka. Yeah, let me get this straight here. Sosnovka, I believe it was episode 32 I uploaded via my internet. Michigan, episode 13 I uploaded via my internet. And then, assuming my internet's good, it'll be this video that will get uploaded as well via my internet. But yeah, the videos before that were kind of mixed between my phone and my internet connection. That, by the way, is another advantage of the internet I have. They are not affected by weather as much. I'd like to emphasize there as much. It's storming out there pretty good, and at the moment my internet is working just fine. So, it kind of comes and goes type of thing, when it really starts storming bad. Sometimes even a little bit of a storm will kind of affect it, but really seems to vary storm-wise. Paul was also asking, so you're saying you can load compost now? Yes, you can load compost now on the multiplayer map. On the RDAllen multiplayer server, that is, on Michigan. Case 315 Mag was saying it's nice to see other players not derping around all the time. They look like pros. That is episode 13 there he left that comment on. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's just me and Iceman on that episode, I believe. Samuel was asking, why don't I live stream? Probably because of my internet connection. Or mostly, I should say, because of my internet connection. So, like I said, I do have wireless internet, which is pretty good. But it is kind of like satellite internet in some ways. It is prone to high latency at times, which probably would not equal or bode well for live stream. Okay, and I can either go in or I can kick the curvets off. Maybe just kick the curvets off here. Dan was saying, awesome video. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for that. Cowman was asking on Michigan episode there, what trailers are those? He's referring to the Wilson trailers. Those are the Wilson trailers, Wilson grain trailers. And you know what? I think what we'll do, folks, we're going to wrap up the episode there. I will let the curvets finish up here. before I finish up planting. So with that, you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching and until next time.